Hi, I'm Kim, and I'm an American, and I have an opinion. And in this crazy time that we're living in, you know, time is ticking. It's time to pay attention to what's going on, and I have something to say. And I'm just going to say it. There's been a lot of stuff circling around the internet about what the heck is going on because we all know that um, things that went on with our choice of leader has been monkeyed with. But I'm just going to talk about what I know to be true because there's so much stuff out there. I've been trying to sort through and figure out what the heck is really going on, but there's no way we're going to know. We're just not. But I want to talk about what I know is really true. Okay, first of all, I heard this morning that the amount of troops that are in DC is 40,000. That's the estimate. 40,000 troops in DC. What the heck is that about? If our, you got to use the right words when you talk so that you don't get taken down. If our choice was real, if that was real that took place, why would you need to protect yourself from the people? If the people chose you, you wouldn't need 40,000 troops to defend yourself from the people, of which I am one. People know what the word is around the internet. We all do. We've all been shared videos, and we all have seen people be taken down off the internet for saying stuff about our choice. If all of that stuff was BS, why has nobody come out and said, this is all, I know the word that's going around, it's not true. We're just going to have to find a way to move forward. I can't even fathom President Trump hanging this out to dry. I just can't see that. And pardon my getting emotional. It's very, it's nerve-wracking. It's scary. I would have never believed it. Never, not in a million years. I would not have believed it. And quite honestly, when all this shit was going on about back and forth about, trying to go to the courts and the courts don't want to listen. Nobody wants to listen to us. If it's real, prove to me it's real and I'll go on. I won't like it, but I'll go on about my business. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to prove to us that what they say is real. They don't want to prove that. I do know that Trump did not concede. He never did. He didn't say those words. Now, I don't know if that's something you have to say. You have to use those words. I don't, but he didn't. He didn't use those words. He didn't ever say, I concede. We're going to sit by and watch. We're going to, make a smooth transition to the Biden-Harris thing. He didn't do that. I do know that big tech is deciding what you get to say and what you must believe. I have had my suspicions. I was one of those people who thought, oh, well, I don't have anything to hide. It's okay if they want my information. Who cares? But my eyes are open. I do care now. I don't think they should be listening to me. I have the devices in my house that we supposedly use for convenience. But I'm getting ready to unplug them because I have noticed that they have been, without saying the word to supposedly bring it active, these devices have been chiming up with stuff, without being awakened. So that's a little bit scary. With people being deplatformed left and right, they're monitoring what you can say. I saw that video of Jack Dorsey saying that this is only the beginning. We're gonna be doing a lot of accounts. It's gonna take a long time. I see on CNN where they're trying to tell you that they've got to shut up the right. I mean, they're openly saying, people in Congress, people on the media, they're openly saying they want to round up the patriots and re-educate them. CNN said they need to stop the reach of the right-wing influencers, or rein it in, or whatever. It's BS. It's ridiculous. What I do know is that there are many countries around the world who are not happy with the president being deplatformed because they know it's only a matter of time. I mean, big tech, our big tech, controls the social media for the entire world. The entire world uses Twitter, Facebook, Amazon. I do know that there's many governments around the world that are in big trouble. They have collapsing governments. There's lots of issues, people resigning. Stuff is, a lot of the things that some of these conspiracy theory people have been saying is starting to ring true. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but some of the stuff, and I never even listened to any of that crap until recently. I looked at the Q posts for the first time. I had to search it up and find it. I didn't know where to find it. I did. I started looking at some of it, and I gotta tell you, it's starting to make more sense. What I do know is that people are pissed. I do know that most people believe that our choice was not real. I do know that there's angry people on both sides, and we are at an impasse. This is not a thing where you can just, look the other way and find a way to get along. We are at irreconcilable differences. We are at a place where they think that we are not human. They think that we are bad people. They think, and they come out and say that. I'm not a bad person. I don't hurt people. I don't silence people. Somebody mentioned on something I watched the other day, somebody mentioned about, the coronavirus stimulus. By the way, I live in Tennessee. I have not worn it. When this whole crap first started, I made masks. My husband and I wore masks. I made masks for my children because they were telling us, oh, you don't need a mask. There's this crazy deadly virus, but you don't need a mask. It's all good. So I put masks on. I made them for my family and friends, and that's what we did. But then when you started to see the signs that this was not this deadly thing. And then they were telling you, oh, you've got to wear a mask. Oh my God. I did not wear a mask ever again. And that's probably really when the lockdown started, is when we said, screw the masks, you know. I don't wear them. I go shopping. I've had a couple of different people get in my face and call me stupid and ridiculous and selfish and all that, and I don't obey the rules. If that's the rule, you're damn right I'm not going to obey it. I have asthma. I've had asthma for a long time, and I'm not sick. I don't wear a mask and I'm fine. I haven't gotten sick. So where is this deadly disease that you have a 99.97 chance of survival? I don't understand. But I do know people are pissed. Another thing that I do know, what I do know is that they use force against us and we just roll over. They use force against us. They used it the whole 2020. They used it. The riots, they're telling you that this is a horrible, deadly disease and you've got to social distance and you've got to wear a mask. Well, first, that's another thing. First, it started out that you had to wear a mask if you couldn't social distance. And then it was wear a mask and social distance. And they don't want you to go to church. They don't want you to go to concerts. They don't want you anywhere where you can gather together and talk, because they don't want you to talk. Now, that was rolling around in my head before all these, before the purge. But I thought, I'm just being silly about that. That's just me being, crazy. But it's making total complete sense, because that's what they want to do. And they freaking came out and said it. They said they don't want you, they said they want to control the conversation. They can't control the conversation if you are going to church, if you are gathering together, if you're getting together for holidays and you have family and you talk. They can't control that conversation. So they've used force against us with the riots. They've burned our businesses. They've called us Nazis. They've told us that we're racist. They want you to hate yourself. They have, the Black Lives Matter and the Antifa, love it. The anti-fascists are actually the fascists. They use violence to promote a political agenda. Fascism. What I know is that we got to stop letting that happen to us. How many times can you let someone hit you before you say, that's enough? Do it again and see what happens. I know that's where I'm at. Another thing I know is that there are more of us in this country than there are of them. And the reason I know that, and they want you to think that, you're isolated and you're a minority, you're just a social fringe, you're just crazy, stay in your place, you're just crazy. But if that was true, they wouldn't have had to monkey with our choice. They wouldn't have had to do that, would they? They wouldn't have had to, they would have just, there would have been a selection, and the winner would have stood up and said, hey, guess what? Y'all are crazy. I'm the winner. And we would all went, okay, whatever, sucks, but whatever. Because we've done that many times, right? So I know there's more of us. I know that there are more of us. And even people that I know that I would not have thought were on our side are. Plus, I have lived in Tennessee for 3 years. I came from the state of California. I lived there my whole life. Well, I lived on the West Coast my whole life, but I was raised in California. Came here from there. The state of California sent me, unsolicited, sent me a ballot. Well, what the heck, So, I know that things are really, really, really crazy. I don't quite know what to do. But what I do know is we are directed by the Constitution to defend our country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Or at least the military is. I don't know. Those words have been ringing through my head. Protect our country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And if it says in the Constitution also, and I don't know the exact words, but it says the government is for the people and by the people. And if the government becomes tyrannical and doesn't work for the people anymore, then it is the people who are allowed by our Constitution to form a different government, one that is for the people. They are to remove and replace that government that is tyrannical. And the Second Amendment, I grew up believing that was because people needed to hunt and all that stuff. And we thought, we don't need to hunt. That's, thought it was about hunting and all that. No. The Second Amendment is to put arms in the hands of the American people so that they can protect themselves against the government. Against the government. That's why we haven't been attacked in our homeland, because almost everybody's got a gun. They know that it's not just the U.S. military that they'd be fighting the populace. And people know that, so they leave us alone. And the first thing people do in a dictatorship, in communism, in all of that stuff, socialist countries, they come after your gun. Why? So you cannot defend yourself. A corrupt government cannot exist with an armed populace. Can't do it. Anyway, that's my thought. That's my opinion. That's what I do know. I was watching a woman on YouTube, and she was going crazy about this, like me. And she said people need to start speaking out. So I'm lending my voice to the fight for freedom, and I hope that you do too. And if you have comments, leave me a comment. But this is our fight. This is our time, our fight. Thanks.